4 here, Wicked Explorers, and we are in Seabrook, New Hampshire. We're actually across the street from another spot we checked out a few weeks ago, the Ames, that's here in Seabrook. And we are at an abandoned Papa Gino's. Now, if you're not from the Northeast, you probably have no idea what a Papa Gino's is, but Papa Gino's is one of the greatest pizza places in the Northeast. They have killer hamburgers, the best. They're everywhere. Breadsticks are great. There's still a few around. I think when I did I looked at the mall in Rhode Island, one of those malls, they had a Papa Gino's there. So these things are actually closing pretty fast. D'Angelo's sub shops actually bought them a few years ago, probably about 10 years ago, and they started converting them. But a lot of them are going out of business. But here we are in front of one on Route 1 here in New Hampshire, Seabrook. This probably was a popular location, but it's not anymore. And let me show you actually one thing before I show you around the building. It's pretty cool. That building right there, I don't know if you can see right there, we're going to zoom in a little bit, is a nuclear power plant. Yes, that is the Seabrook nuclear power plant right there. See where the blinking red light is? That's the road that takes you to the nuclear power plant, actually. And that's the reactor. That white thing you see right there is the reactor. And so, long story short, they were supposed to build 2. They only built 1. It's actually going to probably be decommissioned. But that's the road right there to get to the nuclear power plant if you're ever curious how to get there. But that red light is a big stop because they don't allow people to be there if they're not supposed to. But, you know, it is what it is. So this is the Papa Gino's sign. As you can see, this is a typical Papa Gino's. This looks like a 90s Papa Gino's from the inside. And I can tell because these seats, like the light white wood, was something they did in a renovation back in the 90s. What the hell's going on over there? That'll scare the shit out of you real quick, huh? I wonder if there was a car going down to the nuclear power plant. They just seen someone turn down the road and the horn's going off. But yeah, so this was definitely renovated at some point. I can tell because, like I said, the light furniture that's inside there. I remember the Papa Gino's from the 80s had more of a darker furniture, and they had these like things that were like kind of like more of a pub when you were in. A lot of them had like a big giant like 5-foot in diameter circle that said Papa Gino's in it, and that was like embedded into the walls and stuff like this. But this looks like your typical. This looks like one in Saugus that was renovated right before they closed. You can tell by the lights too. The lights inside there are a little bit really see with the glare and stuff like that, but it's definitely. They designed it and they built it and they renovated it because they didn't think it was going to close, but it ended up closing. And, you know, I don't know why. It's a little far from the beach to be a spot where people would use all the time. And also, let's see inside there. Looks like they ripped up like toilet paper everywhere. It looks like someone got in there. Actually, it looks like there's a hole. Oh yeah, someone smashed the window back there. I don't know if you can see it. There's a smashed window. So someone's tried to get into this place within the last few years and everything. Here's that paint work. So a lot of these Papa Gino's had this like paint, like these artistic paints. The older Papa Gino's actually had a lot more of that paint. In fact, you'd walk in there and it would be like this dark brick and dark wood, and you'd have these Italian paintings inside of each booth and stuff like this. And that's something that when they did the renovations and the newer ones, they kind of got rid of. So, you know, it's it changed a little bit. They were trying to kind of change the branding a little bit. It obviously has a huge parking lot, so there's plenty of parking, plenty of dining space in there. But it's just far enough away from the beach where it really didn't make much sense to probably keep this one open. Especially the beach is also very seasonal. And up here in Massachusetts, or we're in New Hampshire technically, the seasons are basically for the beach, you know, Memorial Day to Labor Day, you know. So, you know, if this wasn't getting a lot of demand, then if you drive up and down the road, there's a lot more cooler craft pizza places that probably put it out of business over the years. But, you know, it is what it is. So if you see right here, these are like the big power lines coming from the power plant. So these things stretch all the way around and they go down here. So this is your main source of power. So for wherever the place was where this power was going to be branched off and stuff to a substation, this is the main run right here. So we're on the high tension power lines right here in Seabrook, New Hampshire. It's kind of eerie being here at dusk. I'm like the only one in the parking lot. It actually looks like there used to be something back here. I doubt this was part of the parking lot, but it could have been because it has the same lights. But this is a hell of a parking lot for a Papa Gino's. They usually aren't this big. And there's the propane tank right there. That was probably a source of gas. But as we walk up to the parking lot, yes, this was definitely the parking lot for the Papa Gino's, and it looks like there's a development over there, so those houses look fairly new over there. So this is kind of prime real estate being here right on Route 1 in Seabrook. And you know, it's Sunday night, so it's a little bit slower than usual. And the landscape somewhat maintained, I guess. It doesn't seem like, you know, whoever owns this property is still trying to maintain it and stuff. And like I said, it does look like someone tried to get in here, or they were just being pains in the ass kids and you know, smashing the windows, which is stupid. You shouldn't do that. But if you kind of actually see back here, if I zoom in, there's the Seabrook Plaza. That's where I did the Ames the other day. So it's kind of weird that this end of Route 1 in Seabrook is kind of dying a little bit, which is odd. And if you go further towards the Massachusetts border, which makes a lot of sense because a lot of people travel over from Massachusetts and stuff to save on the tax, it's a lot more populated, and it was never that way, and now it is. So it is kind of interesting. And this is a weird area too, because if you go a little further up the street to Hampton Falls, which we did a daily quickie up there a couple days ago, a couple weeks ago, at a brewery, it's very, very busy, and it's like a little cool little village. This is like a dead area, and I don't know if eventually this area will finally fill in, because this just was the first developed area, and now it's kind of being, like, you know, let go, you know, a little bit, right? And, you know, I wonder if the power plant has anything to do with it, and I wonder if when eventually that gets decommissioned, or rumored to be decommissioned over time, will that perhaps make this a little more viable? But the beach is right down the street right there. I mean, we just drove by a road that take you right to the beach. So, I don't know. It's weird. Sad seeing these Papa Gino's go, because these Papa Gino's literally my favorite restaurant. There was one in Rivera I used to go to all the time. There was one in Salem I used to go with my grandparents all the time. I love seeing the old ones, like at the mall down Rhode Island. We did it. For the life of me, I can't think of it, but it's one of our videos. It's a dead mall down Rhode Island. And that's an authentic old school Papa Gino's from what I remember as a kid, you know. So what's going to happen to these places, I don't know. I'm sure this land will be occupied, especially with all the real estate that's back there. Someone's going to build on it eventually, and someone's going to, you know, take advantage of this very, you know, expensive piece of real estate here, right? And it's just kind of sad because you look down all these buildings, they're all closed, they're all sad. And that plaza over there, the only thing in there is the market basket that we went and seen the Ames at. And it kind of makes you think, I was like, why hasn't anyone developed this yet, you know? Especially where, like, land value in New Hampshire is starting to go crazy because people want to move to New Hampshire because there's no state income tax. It's great. You know, no sales tax. It's a great place to live. The property tax is a little high, but when you weigh the two, it almost seems better just to kind of live up here, you know? So, I don't know. That's just my theory on it, but I'm going to get back in the car, so I don't look too suspicious. It's getting a little dark, and I don't want to be, you know, blamed for anything that might happen or whatnot. It looks like the light's off. Get some light back here. Yeah, there we go. So, as always, thank you guys for watching, and please subscribe. Let us know if you've ever been to this Papa Gino's. Let us know if you've been to a Papa Gino's in general, and let us know if what you think of these videos and stuff, and what do you like about them. And thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.